Hello everyone, today I'm going to be heading to San Jose's Vietnam town and I'm going to be checking out one of my friend's favorite restaurants there that has some really great and authentic Vietnamese food. Vietnam town is just full of so many different restaurants and great dessert shops and all sorts of delightful stuff, so I figure while I'm there, I'm going to see what else I can find, so let's go. I just made it to the restaurant and placed my order, and they started by bringing out some fish sauce for dipping, I assume, because I got some rice plates, so I guess you're supposed to dip the meat in some of the fish sauce. And then they also brought out some clear soup broth just to drink. Let's just go for a sip of our broth. It feels really nice and warm. I love that so much. That is exactly what I needed right now. Because I'm eating outside, it's pretty cold, and the soup is so warm and comforting. It's piping hot, so you gotta be careful when you take a sip, but it's got so much deep aroma and flavor. The broth has got a really great complexity to it. I taste a lot of richness from the meat, but it's not overly greasy or heavy because it's a clear broth. And I almost taste a slight sweetness as well. And those green onions really add a lot because they add an extra burst of flavor that goes really nice with that rich, meaty broth. Now I'm gonna go for the grilled pork spring roll, and this looks pretty nice. It's nice and chilled, and there's a nice slab of grilled pork in there. This is great. I think the best thing about the spring roll is the texture. You have the soft, chewy outside of the wrapper, and then on the inside you have a refreshing crunch from the lettuce. And there's also some sort of egg roll wrapper in there, so you get that really nice deep fried flavor and crispiness. And then you have the really meaty and juicy pork. It has so much flavor. It just tastes like it's been grilled for ages. The pork has definitely got a great smokiness to it, and I also love the fattiness. It really balances out nicely with all the lettuce in there because it really adds that extra flavor. In case you're wondering why I didn't decide to add the sauce to it, it's because it has this deep red orangey color, and I believe there might be shrimp on it, and it's some sort of secret sauce, so they can't really reveal the recipe, so I decided to forego it just to be safe. Now I want to go for our rice plates. I got 3 rice plates. I want to start off with the barbecue short rib plate, and I also got the combination that comes with the egg cake as well as shredded pork skin. Let's just start off with the shredded pork skin. I'm not sure if we're supposed to eat it with rice or eat it with some of the other meat, but I'll just try it plain so I can taste the flavor. Oh, that is delicious. I love all the rich, meaty flavor. It tastes a little bit nutty. Really got a nice umami-ness to it. And it's really fun to eat because you have a little bit of bite from the meat. And then you have all this gelatinous, sort of chewy texture from all the little pieces of pork skin. It almost feels like I'm eating pork noodles. Now let's go for egg cake, and already it almost reminds me of a Vietnamese omelet. And it looks like there's some sort of vermicelli noodles in here. That's a really pleasant egg cake. It's very light and fluffy, and it's simply flavored. Not too much going on, just a little bit of salt and pepper, and a little bit of vermicelli noodles, once again, for a little bit of texture. And you really can't go wrong with it. It's a great addition to this plate. Now let's go for a barbecue short rib. It's already glistening because of how juicy it is. I am not exaggerating at all. This is one of the best barbecue short ribs I've had in a really, really long time. They cook it perfectly. I mean, the meat itself has been marinated, so I feel like it really retains that juiciness when it's put on a grill. And then when it's grilled, the outside of it gets really caramelized and sticky. And there's also a really crunchy shell from all the char on there, so it adds a nice bitterness from the char. But it's also so intense and smoky and juicy, and I love all those onions with it. Green onions really add a lot. I mean, come on, this is crazy good. Of course, this goes great with the rice because it's so salty and strong, and they even give you some fried pork rinds to go with the rice as well. Now I'm gonna go for the grilled pork plate. This also comes with some of that shredded pork skin, but I'm just gonna start off with the pork since I already had the skin earlier, and this looks really nice as well. Wow, I don't know how they do it, but it keeps getting better and better and better. Once again, it is still juicy. I was worried it might be dry because it's thin, but no, they do it perfectly. And once again, it is smoky. And not only is it smoky, it's even smokier. I don't know how. It's just so rich, and I really feel all the smoke just go over my tongue as I chew it, and it just covers all of my taste buds, and it's wonderfully smoky, meaty flavor. I mean, this is really heaven right here. Just a little bit of rice with this meat, you're gonna be happy. Now I'm just gonna go for the barbecue chicken. This is the last dish, but again, I really think this is gonna be great. I always love myself a barbecue chicken plate at a lot of different Vietnamese restaurants. The chicken is great as well. What I do notice is it's a little bit less smoky. And what I'm tasting that's a little bit different is I taste a little bit of white pepper. So it really adds this sort of interesting fragrance, kind of contrasts with the saltiness of the soy sauce. It's definitely a bit different than the other two dishes, but this one is great as well. This is definitely a great place to check out if you're here in San Jose's Vietnam town. I think my favorite was the grilled pork, just because I love that smokiness. And make sure you get the one with the shredded pork skin, because that is a really nice addition. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up now because I have a feast awaiting me, and then I think there's one more place I want to check out here. I just stopped by this place that is known for their fresh squeezed sugarcane juice, and what's really cool is they have a machine in there where they squeeze the sugarcane and they make it just to order. So I got mine with a little bit of kumquats. They add a little bit of kumquats on top of the machine, and they're like a little citrus, so they really add a lot of flavor to sugarcane juice.
Not a lot, minimal so far. Not like that sugar.
That is so delicious. As I'm sure you can tell, it is so ridiculously sweet because, I mean, after all, it is sugar cane. So it really has this refreshing, cold, sweet flavor, really nice and icy. And the kumquats add a really pleasant sort of fragrance and flavor, and they're actually surprisingly sweet. I can't tell if they're sour. I mean, I'm guessing it's just covered up by all the sugar in there, but it is really quite nice. You just gotta be careful. I mean, I don't even want to know how many grams of sugar is in this one cup. After all, I mean, it's almost always pure sugar. This is such a refreshing drink for a hot day. Even though it's pretty cold, and obviously I'm wearing this jacket, it's still really nice, and you really can't go wrong with it. If you find yourself in San Jose's Vietnam town, this is another great place to check out. Just in case you're wondering why I didn't name either two of the places I went to, it's just because I'm not fluent in Vietnamese, and I know that I would not be able to pronounce it correctly. But don't worry, as always, I'll leave the names to the places I went to in the description down below. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.